Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Your Big Music Moment, coming at you every day, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Today, we've got an amazing artist with us, Jeff Clayborn. Wait till you hear him. His voice is larger than life, and we're looking forward to talking with him and hearing some music. But before we get going, a shout out to our associated sponsor, Musicians on Call. They bring the healing power of music to those in need. So I think kind of without further ado, here's Jeff. How are you, man?
Hey, doing good, Chris. Thank you for having me. This is great.
Thanks for being here. We had a good time in sound check, and I can't wait to hear some music. So.
It's happy hour, man.
Yeah. Speaking of which, let's go into a song.
All right, love to. This is a song that I wrote for my grandfather. He named a farm that we grew up on called Acres of Sunshine. And I told Papa, I said, one of these days, I'm going to write that song, Acres of Sunshine. Papa always said we were money poor and dirt rich. Never truly understood what that really meant. Looking out this penthouse view from 40 stories high, I'd give it all away if I could just get back to those acres of sunshine. If I could just get back. It was so much more than some old farm passed down the family line. That deep black soil my mama turned is planted in my mind. Growing love in the country was just an old pastime. Give it all away if I could just get back to those acres of sunshine. Oh, yeah. Watch the moon rise and the sun go down, hand in hand at the same time. Sitting on a rock with a six string and a song under the open sky. I'd give it all away if I could just get back to those acres of sunshine. Oh, if I could just get back. I could just get back. I'd give it all away if I could just get back. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. Let's get back to something real. Yeah. When it comes to dollars, I can spend them just like the rest. But all the money in the world won't buy me happiness. That home in the holler is where my heart pines. You know, I'd give it all away if I could just get back to those acres of sunshine. Acres of sunshine. Acres of sunshine. If I could just get back. Papa always said we were money poor and dirt rich. Now I understand what he really meant.
That was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, your voice is amazing, and that song. Especially right now, I think that's amazing, amazing set of sentiments and themes about about reality and the human
No,
condition.
I tell you, these times now, songs come back to you that were written many years ago that made sense, especially around the 60s and 70s, right?
Right.
That dig into what's good and what's real. And boy, I'm listening to that and trying to write that all over again.
It's interesting because as an artist, your job, and we are talking about this a little bit yesterday on the show, is as an artist, you're kind of reminding everyone about what it means, and hopefully interpreting a little bit about what our journey means, however that is. And it's such an important function. It's kind of, half entertainer, half poet, and not that those two things are necessarily different. But how did you get here? How did you get to this spot? Like, what's your origin story?
I don't know. I just kind of kept plugging away. This isn't my first time around, but it's my best time around. Got a great team this time when Chuck Ebert, a producer with Cabin Records here in Azle, Texas, took a liking to a few of my songs. We demoed them, and I was ready to go sell them and get them out to the world. And he said, no, you need to sing them. So got right back on the artist track, and always have written songs, but to be back and doing it, and then in this time in the world and what's going on, I feel kind of a responsibility. I feel like there's a reason of being here. But my dad was a minister, also got a degree in music, so he was directing the choir as well. Taught us to sing and harmonize from a very early age. So it was the way that I always have communicated. So it just has evolved.
Right. Wow. So yeah, it's interesting how, a lot of organizations and faith-based organizations where so much music has come from, from gospel to the American Songbook. So that's interesting that's part of your tradition, and that using music to communicate. Because with even outside even just with the cowboy ballads and all of that, it was the oral history, especially in Texas.
Yeah, it sure was. It is a responsibility. If you have a God-given talent to communicate this way, then music is spiritual. And it's it always lifts you somehow into another level. I think that's why we all hear it and miss it so much. I know we miss live music. I know everyone does.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a given. That's what we're trying to do on this show. Just get these moments out there. I got chills on the last song you sang, and I'm sure there's more to come. And it's just there's nothing like that. I love that it's not my first time around, but it's my best time around. That's I'm sure that's a song somewhere.
Yeah, it sure is. That's a good point. I'll write that one.
So speaking of which, do you want to give us a couple more?
Sure. Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh gosh, I tell you, story of my life is kind of being the last one to leave, and whether I'm at a restaurant or a party or anywhere else for that fact, I like to stay up late and eat and drink and talk to good people and just seemed to be a recurring theme. And Chuck and I sat down one night at dinner, and we got up and both looked around and said, it happened again. We're here in Nashville, and they're stacking chairs around us and throwing bills at us. And I guess just because we work late and eat late, but this one's called Last Ones to Leave. Over a cold beer after overtime, we're all here in the same state of mind. Time sure flies with good time and friends. Tell me a story, I'll buy another round. This place is clearing out, we're getting loud, just getting started while they're trying to close. whether it's whiskey or wine. We're gonna be here all night, right where we won't be, feeling some at ease. We're the last ones to leave, last ones to leave. Hanging out down home, sipping. Last call was over an hour ago. Bartender's got that look, we're crossing that line. Tony's locking up, everyone's disappeared. Still so much to say and so much to hear. We all smile when he pulls that bottle down. Whether it's whiskey or wine, we're gonna be here all night, right where we won't be, feeling so at ease. We're the last ones to leave, last ones to leave. Life's too short, why be the first to go? Precious times like these with people we know. Feeling so at ease, that's alright with me. We're the last ones to leave, last ones to leave, last ones to leave.
Nice. That's great.
Thank you.
I think as a fellow worker in the studio, we're definitely the late night crowd, so that resonates.
Yeah.
Didn't want to interrupt your musical flow, but so maybe we can jump straight to another. But
sure,
it was great.
Yeah, I'll be glad to. Yeah, this is a song that discovered in Nashville. We go around and have different meetings with people and write with different folks and get pitched a lot of songs, and this is one of those times. And Chris Stapleton was holding on to this for a little while. He had demoed it, and we heard it and said, "Yeah, that's something that I would love to say. It's important to me. It fits me perfectly. Tell us when he lets it go." And it's one of those where you say, "Yeah, thank you very much, Chris, for letting this one go. This means a lot, and I'll enjoy singing this one for the rest of my life." As a preacher's son, growing up, knowing that you want to be in entertainment, it's kind of important to stay out of trouble. And you know what's right, and you know what's wrong, and the right way is a hard way to go. Mama taught me about the Bible, and Daddy taught me about the bottle, and I learned a thing or two alone. Lies made me struggle, the truth made me humble, and fighting feels like grinding on a stone. Unless you live like Jesus lived. Some sins are hard to forgive. There are straight roads and winding roads and ways to get lost. There are wrong turns that have their prices, and you never know the cost. And when the devil's always pulling at your soul, the right way is a hard way to go. Really searching for some peace. Haven't had a drink in 2 weeks, but I've quit for 2 weeks before. Find a church to keep me straight, and I've been on the mess this Sunday, but that's between me and the Lord. I step forward, I fall back. Mama said you can't get anywhere like that. There are straight roads and winding roads, ways to get lost. There are wrong turns that have their prices. We never know the cost. With the devil always pulling at your soul, the right way is a hard way to go. Late at night I get on my knees and pray. I can see these sins get washed away. There are straight roads and winding roads and ways to get lost. There are wrong turns that have their prices. Never know the cost. And with the devil always pulling at your soul, right away is a hard way to go. Oh, the right way is a hard way to go.
Awesome, man. Wow, that's powerful. I can see why that song grabbed you.
It does. It gets you there, man.
And it's interesting, being a writer yourself, and it sounds like, the kind of gestation or the initiation of the current project is you had songs, and then you felt like those are things you had to express versus just get them out into the world. But that doesn't stop you also from embracing other ones, which is cool.
Not at all. Yeah. It is I guess what makes an artist for me is to find the right song, the right poem, the right lyric that I can express in my own way and in my own honest way. And I either find that song within myself, or I find it from someone that understands who I am and says, you ought to hear this song. This is you, whether it's in your key or it's in your wheelhouse or whatever, but you would do this song well. And then you hear it. And, I'm a music history buff, so all the biographies and everything I've read through my life about guys and girls finding songs, they come from within and they come from without. But truth, when an artist finds truth, people feel it and see it and react to it. If it's not real, they feel it. They may not ever be able to put their finger on it and understand why they don't like that song as well as the other, but you're just looking for truth. And that's what I want to do as an artist and as a singer. Whether I'm singing it or I'm finding it for somebody else, I'm just looking for truth and the best way to communicate that feeling. And that last song, when I heard it, yeah, sure, you wish you wrote it, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Just as long as you can express it and get somebody to feel something. And also, you're going to be singing it for a long time, and it has to be something that you really like and that's honest and that touches you every time. And all three of those songs do.
Like that, yeah, and they definitely communicate that. And I love that the distillation of the artist's message as being a search for truth. And I think that's a great quote from you. So I think that's amazing. I think also, what's interesting is that as there's no ego, there's no ego involved, but there's a lot of expression involved, and that's an interesting thing to try and disassociate. Like you don't care about yourself, but you very much care about what you're feeling and right. Letting people know. And that's probably a pretty tough line to
it really is. I love that thought, because I'm always trying to remove the ego. I've got a big ego. I've got a strong will to communicate and get my message across, but it gets in the way. Right. And as soon as I notice that the ego for any artist is getting in the way of them finding truth, then they need to change something. Right. And get back to truth, because that's what you're doing. I tell a lot of young people growing up and getting in it, and I say, why do you want to do this? Because it's pretty tough, and every business is tough. And they say, oh, show business is so different than every other. Well, no, it's not. You have to surround yourself with people that you can trust and that you like to work with, and you get excited about work every day. But don't do it for the fame, man. I mean, we've got so much media going on that I'm afraid a lot of artists are getting into it for the ego part of it and for acceptance and trying to get on that A-list, man. And that's fine, but you're not going to find truth that way. You're always going to be distracted on how well you think you're doing and what other people think. So get into it for art's sake, and that means truth to me.
It's interesting you mentioned that, because I've, a lot of the major artists I've worked with, one thing that is truly they have in common is exactly what you said. They're all extremely famous, but that all came as a byproduct of searching for that truth, not as a goal. And maybe that's why musicians are kind of have this position in our society, because they are looking for truth. So speaking of music and careers, what do we have to look forward to from you? What's coming up here? Well,
it's sure an interesting time. I was to be in Europe doing the festival circuit through Ireland and the UK. So my band and I are disappointed. I know that you all are hearing this a lot from artists. But I heard somebody say the other day that I've got a little depression going on, but I'm not sad, and I really identified with that. I don't feel sad, but I've got some of that gut wrenching. Why is it going to be different? Why are we having to find another way when we planned so well? and we rehearsed so well, and we had it all down, and we're so excited about going. So now we are putting it all together, and I'm interested for Musicians on Call and some of these other networks. I think it's a time to go and find each other and redevelop the community a little bit, and try to get on the same page a little bit more. I know that there are some great tours going and some people really cooperate. And I know I'm thinking about all the crews coming out of Nashville that aren't getting to work this summer too. So a lot of empathy going on, but I think it's a time to reflect, settle down, and find out exactly what direction you want to go. I want to tour all the time. It's not always possible. Can't just run everything crazy all the time. I want to record another record. I think that this is a time for writing. My writing is enriched by this sequester, for this hiding out, this whatever it is. So I think it's a time to reflect, and I think that the gods are speaking to us. God is actually saying, slow down. I was going 110, man. So I kind of, when we all had to stop, and I think it's taken about 4 months to make other plans. So another record, I'd love to do a gospel record. I want to keep looking for songs. And this is a great medium that we're using here today to be able to get with other writers. It really does work to team write. It really, you don't have to be in the same room physically. You can sit around and pick and play and share your ideas. So a lot more songs. I want to tell you that I'm going to tour, man. What's your opinion of when we're all going to be able to get back out and get everybody together and hands raised high? And
I don't know. I think it might be different in different regions depending on how everything, pans out. It seems like, for us at Big, well, we've kind of embraced this idea, and how can we get people together now? And this and then the other work we do with forward thinking brands that want to sponsor artists, things like this, things like the other activities we do, because I think I don't know when we're going to get back, and my answer is we've got to get there before then, because people want the music, and so that's what we're doing, and that's what you're doing.
I think now. I want a team build. I want to continue to find great folks that want some of the same things, and then come back out with even a stronger team, and a team that you just can't wait. I have that team, but we can always grow and get bigger and make better associations. So Musicians on Call, I'd like to just take a minute to ask everyone, that is what I would like to share this time with. Donate to Musicians on Call. And I know you all are great in a great team thing with them. And realizing when we're gone and you're not having these live shows anymore, what artists do, what singers do, what they bring, why live music can be expensive, and understand that we do need it in our society. We need sports too, man. I want my football. May not happen. It may all look different. I want my baseball. But I think that we take music for granted in this country. It's a little different in Europe, man. I think we have so much talent in America, coming out of America, that we're a little saturated, and that's a good thing. We've got pop music coming out of the North, pop music coming out of the South, from the West, and it's a beautiful thing, but we need to appreciate it. And I think that this is a time to do exactly what you and I are doing right now. So I'm happy. I'm depressed, but I'm happy.
That's another song. I mean, you're nailing them right now.
And that's another song. That's why I need to be writing these down. I'll forget them.
Well, yeah, let's speaking of that, let's do one more, and then
all right,
we'll bid our dues, but I can't wait to have you back on.
Oh, really. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Here. This is great. It's a song about coming full circle. We grow up with great parents, and we take that for granted too. And then when we become parents ourselves, we kind of remember Did my homework every night. Went to college once or twice. Still I ain't the sharpest knife in the kitchen drawer. And every time I went astray, I always heard my daddy say, boy, you can't forget the work you were put here for. And wiser men than me should preach. Still I got something I can teach. These are things that I found. I'm just passing them on down. There's a kinder word to say, a better way to pray, I reckon. Hoping every smile, loving every child, I reckon. The higher up you climb, bigger hills you find, I reckon. That's what my daddy said, I reckon. Got a job and bought a truck. Found a girl who shook me up. We turned these bricks into a loving home. Bills come and babies cry. We make up after every fight. And Dad always said, life ain't like a TV show. Wiser men than me should preach. Still I got something I can teach. These are things that I found. I'm just passing them on down. There's a kinder word to say, better way to pray, I reckon. Hoping every smile, loving every child, I reckon. The higher up you climb, bigger hills you find, I reckon. That's what my daddy said, I reckon. Got a boy who's 23. He finally opened up to me. He told me, Dad, I need a word or two. You see, I met a girl, we had some fun. I think she may be the one. I said, son, life ain't like a TV show. I reckon. That's what my daddy said, I reckon. That's what my daddy said, I reckon.
Well, that's a beautiful one. That's great.
Thank you.
I love the
Thank you.
the notes. The note choice is amazing. How haunting and welcoming at the same time, right? That's kind of sometimes don't coexist. You know, all the talents that coexist within your artistry and your performance were greatly appreciated today, and just love to have you back ASAP.
Thank you. Really good to be here.
I have a feeling we've only scratched the surface. Didn't mean to interrupt. We've only scratched the surface of your songbook. So,
boy, I hope so. That sounds good to me.
All right.
Well, thank you. I am extremely honored to be on this. I've been looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to doing more work with you guys and helping out any way I can, especially with musicians on call and getting involved in that organization a little bit. I like everything I've read about it, and like to be part of that one. So thank you. I'll get involved. I'll give you a call.
All right.
Thank you,
Jeff. Thanks. Talk soon.
Have a good night, everybody. Okay. Bye, Chris.
All right. Wow. Jeff Clayborn, what an amazing talent. So thanks to him for joining us. Again, thanks to Musicians on Call, our associated charity. And as always, Big Music stands with Black Lives Matter. And you can look at our socials to understand how we're going to be a positive part of the future. And thanks, everyone, for joining us. And as always, live to listen.